Jordan!
Iain!
Who couldn't be bothered with work, so called in sick so they could enjoy the day. But on their way out of the door, they slipped into an Einstein-Rosen bridge, and they were like, fuck yeah, going on the adventure of a lifetime, but were very unhappy when they popped out the other side in their empty chair in the meeting that they were supposed to be attending.
Vin Diesel?
No. Two guys. Hello and welcome to episode 127 of Two Guys What's Up, the weekly comedy podcast where I actually did call in sick yesterday, but one guy who's always ready to talk somebody's ear off is this guy. It's Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
I'm alright, thank you. Having said that, you weren't great, as you've just said yesterday.
Yep.
I felt alright. Now you feel better today, and I don't feel so good.
Yeah, there must be something going around.
I mean, I'm blaming you.
I haven't seen you.
Well, computer virus.
We're just such close friends that it's interchangeable no matter how far away we are.
Exactly.
I get sick, you get sick.
But to be honest, I just blame it on the fact of the job that I've decided to do.
Yeah.
Which was spend time around other people, talking to them in close proximity, especially kids.
Yeah.
That just cough and splutter, have no sense of hygiene.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, kids go to school, they're surrounded by thousands of other kids that fall into that category of coughing, spluttering, picking the nose, spitting, all that sort of stuff, licking weird things.
Ugh.
And then, they come to you and they're like, I'm ready for my guitar lesson. Oh, Jordan. And you're like, yep, nice one.
Exactly.
That'll be my shower for the day.
So I do that Monday to Friday, and then the weekends I gig in public with 60 people surrounding us dancing who's probably all got fucking COVID.
Brilliant.
So it's the life I've chose, I'm afraid.
Yeah, the life of the sickie.
I am starting to debate my choices now.
Well, the weird thing is, with your job, as you are your own boss, it's not as if you can just be like, nah, I'm feeling a little under the weather, I'll call in sick today, and still get paid for it.
Exactly.
You're fucked, pal.
I am.
Go work in Morrison's or something.
Okay. And be surrounded by more people, but just be less happy.
Yeah. It's a losing battle, mate.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, well.
I'll just curl up now.
Probably a good idea.
Right. As a separate thing, I feel like I have to tell you this because it really puts things into perspective.
Oh.
Okay. So, as of the time of recording, yesterday was the 2nd of June.
It was, yes.
And I read that the 2nd of June marks the halfway point of the year.
Wait, is this in that TikTok that I sent you?
Oh, have you said... Did you? I don't know. Possibly, because I haven't seen it.
I have a feeling I know what you're going to say. Right.
Oh, okay. Then I dare say you probably have. For anybody else that isn't familiar, it was the idea that yesterday was the halfway point of the year, and we are in the year 2025, which just tips the scales towards us being closer to the year 2050 than we were the year 2000.
Yeah, which is absolutely insane.
That's not great, is it?
I watched that video, the one that I sent you, which just says that information, and it makes me think about time, because I remember obviously we're not in 2050, right? But we are obviously now closer to it.
We're approaching it, yeah.
And I remember the year 2000, and I remember 1999 and thinking, fucking hell, the millennium is coming up, and it's going to be 2000, we're living in the future. And then all of a sudden, in my head, now we're past the halfway point to being 50 years after that.
Yeah, that's awful.
Fuck you, time.
I suppose the one plus side is that we have only passed the halfway point towards 50 years, so, it's actually not as bad as we're thinking.
Just a couple more blinks of those little eyelids of yours, mate, and we'll be there.
Fair enough. As long as I don't keep catching shit from people, I don't care.
Maybe that's your problem, mate. When people throw shit, don't catch it. Let it fly by your head and land behind you, and then you'll stop getting sick. Especially because I know what you're like. If something lands in your hands, you're like, well, I've got to eat it.
It's true.
I'm ill. Not surprised.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good point. But also, if I don't catch it, my reflexes aren't that good, so I'll probably still hit me.
They do aim for your face.
They do.
Here's your payment for that guitar lesson, mate. Put on the D chord for 8 lessons.
And when people make a deal and they spit in the hand as well?
Yeah.
I've just got images of that thanks for the lesson, mate.
You're a man of honour and you like to seal your handshakes, don't you? Terrible hygiene as well. You never wash your hands.
It's the fact, though, when they go beforehand. That is awful.
That's delicious, pal.
Oh, God. Are you feeling all right, though?
I feel a lot better today, thank you. Yesterday I was
Good.
just like zero energy. I was zapped. I had no idea what was going on. I was just getting out of bed. I was just like, I don't want to move. Like, in the morning when you wake up, you're like, I can't be bothered, but I know I have to, so I will.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was just laid there and I was like, I can't physically muster the energy to be bothered to even move a fucking toe.
It's not like you at all, because we were due to record yesterday and you just said, do you mind if we don't? And I was like, fine.
Day off.
You must have reasons, because it's not like you.
Didn't have the energy. I don't think I could have sat here. I would have been no conversational partner for you. You'd have been like, oh, what have you been up to? And it's like, no words would have come.
I think what it's probably been, though, for you is that you've had your normal working week, but on top of that, you've just endured the school half term.
Yeah, the kids have been off.
Yeah, your children 24/7 plus work equals a very exhausted Iain, I imagine.
Yeah, and when my wife is home, as she was during the half term, she makes me do things like housework and stuff.
Oh, yeah, because you can normally Skype that, can't you?
I mean, she's not here right now. What's she going to do? Punch me? I don't think so. But when she's home, I can't escape it.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you very much. And I'm not very happy that you're not, because you have cancelled our drinks tomorrow night.
Well, potentially. I just think I'll see how I get on. I might be all right and make a miraculous recovery, and then I'm all good.
Well, stop spitting on your students' hands and eating stray poops as they fly past your noggin, and hopefully we'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, old habits die hard, as they say.
Have you got any lessons today?
I do.
Oh, God, we're fucked.
We are.
Well, you are, you snogging spit licker.
Oh, nice.
Right, Jordan. So, without further ado, me old sausage, what have you got coming up for us today?
I have for you a compilation of some of the weirdest advice that people have heard that is actually strangely effective.
Okay.
Things that maybe I feel like I need to give myself a little boost today. We'll see.
Okay, very nice. Can't wait to hear that. Hopefully I'll be able to employ some of these in my everyday life.
The first one is stop eating shit.
Stop using your favourite straw to suck up spit.
Oh.
Miscellaneous dregs that have landed on the floor from that, that honourable handshake you did earlier.
Oh, that's horrendous. I can only apologise to anyone eating breakfast.
Oh, God, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Sorry.
We'll bleep this whole bit.
Good idea. Or just delete it.
Yeah, that works too. What have you got for us today?
Well, Jordan, quite short and sweetly, I just have another irrefutable case of past life memories for you.
Oh, I quite like these.
Oh, very good. Well, yeah, that's what I've got coming up for you today, me old sausage.
Very nice. Shall we just go for it then?
Let's just fucking go, pal. This, Jordan, is the story of Carl Edon, a railway worker from Middlesbrough who, before he could even read, was drawing swastikas,
wow,
goose-stepping around his living room and telling his mum and dad that he used to be a Nazi pilot.
Oh, God, okay.
Not a proud parent moment there.
No, interesting.
Normally you encourage your kids to talk, but, maybe in that situation you just be like, shut up.
God.
Until you learn a new vocabulary, shut your face. Don't be telling people that.
Exactly, that's awful.
Carl Edon was born on December 29th, 1972 in South Bank, Middlesbrough, here in our home county of North Yorkshire, which, Jordan, is only 50 miles away from us, to his parents Jim and Val Edon.
Very nice.
They were an ordinary working class family, nothing spooky, nothing culty, just your average British household with no particular leanings towards Germany, reincarnation, or paranormal anything.
Oh, right, so their son saying all this shit out of the blue.
Completely unprompted, out of nowhere.
Okay.
So when their toddler started spouting off about dying in a fiery crash during World War II, they were understandably rattled, and maybe slightly not proud.
Maybe.
Carl's memories start around the age of 2. He claimed that in a previous life, he'd been a 23-year-old German pilot named Robert, but gave no last name, that had died when his aircraft was shot down over England.
And just to reiterate, he was a toddler saying this?
Yeah, between the ages of 2 and 4.
Wow, okay. So he's already using, I imagine, words that no toddler would use.
Yeah, so he's being quite imaginative there. He's not just linking together, like Carl want biscuits, saying Carl was aircraft pilot in World War II.
Yeah, it was that revoked episode of Peppa Pig, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a bit too controversial.
It was.
Carl said he'd been flying when his plane was shot. It clipped a tall building before plummeting to Earth, and that he had lost his right leg in the crash.
Wow.
These details he was very clear about. Tall building, loss of control, fatal impact, lost leg. So Jordan, all of these details that Carl reported and all of the little details like the building and the leg never changed. And strangely, Carl had a large birthmark on his right thigh, the exact leg that he claimed to have lost in that previous life. And you might be able to just brush this off as coincidence, but Carl wasn't done.
Okay.
As Carl got older, around the age of 4 or 5, he started drawing what looked like Luftwaffe insignia. He'd pen out badges, eagles, and even cockpit layouts.
Yeah, this is not something you expect from a 5-year-old.
Not at all. I mean, my child just draws creepy creepers.
Was that him in a previous life?
Possibly. He might have been some kind of ghost hunter or something.
Or maybe.
My son came home the other day and he brought me a drawing of something that looked like a yellow dog. Like, think of like how a child would draw it, you know, like with not like pointy ears, but like, you know, like big circles for ears, that kind of thing. And he came up to me and he was like, I saw this under my granddad's shed. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he was like, I looked under and I saw this. And then I asked my wife about it and she said he came up to her running, screaming like, I've just seen something under the shed. And he said that it was like a dog, but it had a human face.
Oh, God. Dog man.
My wife was like, nothing could even fit under there. Like, not even a cat could fit in under this crevice. But he was adamant and he fucking drew it. And then he came up to me later and showed me.
Is this your eldest?
It is the eldest, yeah.
It does sound like something he would say. I could imagine him saying that, but...
Yep. I mean, he's been reporting weird things since he was a toddler himself. No past life Nazis, thank God.
That is a blessing, yeah. Definitely.
That is a plus, yeah.
Because it was your eldest that saw the orbs, wasn't it?
Yeah, the orbs. I had a message off James the other day who said that he was listening back through our back catalogue and he reminded me that our eldest said he saw that screaming boy on his stairs. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, yeah, I totally forgot about that. You know, this kid, it seems like he's got some kind of visual link into the other dimension or the other, you know, beyond the veil.
He's no longer welcome here.
Just walks in.
Hi, Jordan. Hi, Jordan's wife. Oh, hi, army of dead people in the garden.
Yeah, it's just when he starts uttering the words Roman burial ground. That's when it's like, it's time to go back to your mum and dad.
Start speaking in tongues.
That would be awful.
Yeah, well, you know, that's where you have to live.
I wonder what he'd find under our shed. In fact, don't look.
I haven't seen your wife in a while.
No, it's funny that. Yeah, she's just a bit under the weather.
She's a bit under the shed. Or bits of her under the shed, should I say.
Yeah.
I eat the rest.
Scattered around.
Fucking hell.
That is a lie.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Do you want to get her on just to prove that she's alive?
She's out right now.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah, just a bit preoccupied.
Okay, well, I will believe you if you get Teddy in just to give us a little shout to make sure that he's there.
He's downstairs right now.
Oh, how convenient. What's he doing? Like doing the dishes or something?
Fucking if only.
Yeah, then it wouldn't have had to kill him. I mean...
I'll send you a picture of him.
No, I'm all right, thanks.
Just don't look at the date.
You keep it. I don't want any evidence sending over this way. I don't want to be complicit.
All right.
So back to these pictures. His parents thought he was just scribbling nonsense until someone pointed out that the symbols matched actual German World War II emblems. Now, bear in mind, this is the late 70s, there's no internet, no History Channel, no Call of Duty. Little Carl wasn't sitting around watching Nazi documentaries or browsing websites on how to trick your parents. Carl was obsessed with German food. When he played, he'd march around the house doing Nazi salutes, shouting words in German that his parents swore they'd never taught him. Carl even described his German family from his past life. He said his father was named Fritz, his brother was Peter, and his mother had dark hair and wore glasses.
Right, okay.
Now, that information isn't verified, as far as I'm aware. You know, like, I don't think they looked at the family going back and were like, oh, God, he was right. But it's just weird that he's putting in the backstory.
Yeah, it's too much detail.
Exactly, yeah. If a kid makes up a lie, it's very surface-based.
Yeah, that is weird.
It got to the point where Carl's parents contacted the press. And you can argue that this was because they wanted attention, but they said they just wanted answers and where better to go. And this was how Carl's story ended up on the pages of The Children That Time Forgot, a 1983 book by Peter and Mary Harrison, which covered several alleged reincarnation cases in the UK, but Carl's stood out for just how detailed it was.
Right.
One reporter who interviewed the family said Carl seemed totally matter of fact. No drama, no bravado or look at me attitude. He'd answer your questions honestly and like he wasn't trying to be convincing. It was just, as one neighbour put it, eerie, because he didn't even act like it was strange.
Yeah, so this is totally how he thinks of the world.
Yeah, it's like if I said to you, hey Jordan, how many guitars have you got?
Not enough.
And you went, I don't know, 47.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as if you'd be making it up and saying, oh, well, I've got a Gibson Les Paul from the 1470s that was signed by a chicken. You're not making up some kind of weird story.
But I do.
All right.
I swear.
Yeah.
You'd never believe me.
I know what you sold your soul for, right? But we said we'd never talk about that because we didn't want to put the listeners off.
All right.
Because you're in league with the devil and that sort of stuff.
Sorry.
It's fine. Just, now we've got to get rid of the guitar, Jordan.
No.
If someone comes round to your house wanting to see it, what are we going to do? They're going to break in, they're going to steal it, and then you lost your soul, you'll have no guitar.
I'll just have to learn the triangle.
Okay, fair enough. Infringing on my territory. Now I get it.
Yeah. I'll be the world's best triangulist.
I was trying to think as you were saying that, what would you call it? Triangulator, no.
I don't know, what would you call it? I don't know.
Should we look it up?
There must be a word.
Alexa, what is somebody that plays a triangle called?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. The musician who plays the triangle defines himself as a trianglist.
We were right!
Oh, nice. Excellent. Okay.
Fucking get in.
Clever bastard.
A win for the two guys, yeah.
Woo.
Now, Jordan, I'm going to have to ask you to hold on to your skin, because here is where you might actually shiver right the fuck out of it.
Right. Hit me.
For years, Carl's story was just a weird anecdote. Remember that kid who thought it was a German pilot? Yeah, weird that. People moved on. Carl himself eventually even stopped talking about it, especially once he began being bullied for it. So by his late teens, he was living a normal life, he got a job with Cleveland Rail, and by 1995, he was working as a signalman and life was normal.
Okay, all's good.
But just 1 year later, everything fucking changed.
Okay, all's not good.
All is not good. Carl was just 22 when he was at work and he was brutally stabbed to death by a colleague named Gary Vinter.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, did you?
No, okay.
Vinter was a man known to have a violent past and stabbed Carl 37 times in a frenzied attack with no warning, no provocation, just senseless violence.
Jesus.
Vinter was arrested, convicted, and sent to prison, and then, just to add insult to injury, he was released years later, went on to murder his own wife, as well as a few other horrible acts.
Lovely, okay. Yeah, he sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds like a piece of shit.
That is one that I will not eat.
It's good to know that you've got standards.
Yes, I draw the line.
Well, you wouldn't be able to anyway because he's now serving a whole life sentence. So fuck him.
Good.
Carl's death was tragic. It had nothing to do with his supposed past life, but it marked the end of the story. Or at least, it should have. Oh!
Are you alright?
I'm just shocked at how crazy the story is going to get right now. And, I hope you're still holding on to your skin.
I am. It's attached.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? I read a fact last night that it's not actually attached.
What the hell is it then? Is it just floating around?
It's just, wrapped around you.
Well, it's not loose, though.
I think it is, pal.
I suppose it sort of is, isn't it? You can pinch it and...
I've read a fact that said if you were to get air under your skin, it would temporarily just start to blow your skin up away from your body before it got into your bloodstream and then caused an aneurysm.
Wow, okay. Should we try it?
I'm good. I mean, the blowing part at the beginning might be quite all right. Depending on where you're going to start.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, you ready, Iain? Oh, God, this is horrible. Please stop. Oh.
No, I've heard horror stories about people actually blowing up there.
Yeah, oh,
causing
God.
issues.
Not that related, but I saw a story about some guy who was working in a garage and he tripped, fell onto a nozzle that they used to inflate tires.
Of course he did. Yeah.
Not oh God, he slipped and fell, but it punctured his skin and
Oh.
started blowing him up.
Okay.
I'll take 1 second.
He looked like he belonged in Willy Wonka or something.
Yeah, no, I was right, thank God. I was worried because I think I've actually seen that on a TV show as well.
Right.
So I was worried that I was mixing that up with reality. But no, there is a man called Stephen McCormick who fell onto a high-pressure air hose. It pierced his buttock and caused his body to expand dramatically from compressed air.
Oh, wow. That is just like one of the enemies in the James Bond film Live and Let Die, where I think he gets punctured with a helium tank.
All right.
And then he literally becomes like a balloon, and then he just goes and kind of ends up dead.
Oh, nice.
So maybe they got it from him.
What, that real-life event? Oh, wait,
Yes.
vice versa. I thought you meant that guy who was oh, I really want to be like that villain from Live and Let Die.
Yeah, lovely.
Anyway, Jordan, back to this, because 2 years after Carl's murder in 1997, something bizarre happened. Construction workers were digging up ground at a housing development site in South Bank, less than 2 miles from Carl's childhood home, when their shovels hit something hard. They carried on digging, and what they found was the wreckage of a German World War II bomber.
Okay.
It was a Dornier 217E, part of the Luftwaffe's long-range bombing force. It had gone down during a raid on May 15th, 1942, and Jordan, the remains of the 4-man crew, were still inside, along with the torn uniforms and Luftwaffe gear.
Wow.
One of the crew members was a pilot named Heinrich Richter, and here is where jaws started hitting the floor. Richter had lost his right leg in the crash, just like Carl had claimed. And wouldn't you know it, Richter's plane had clipped a tall building, specifically a chimney, on its descent before crashing into a field. Carl had accurately described the exact scenario from the age of 2.
Yeah, that's weird.
And Jordan, someone managed to dig up a photo of Heinrich Richter. It shows a young German pilot with dark, intense eyes and a face that bears an unnervingly close resemblance to Carl Edon. And now there's no definitive proof that Carl was the reincarnation of Richter. Nobody's got Richter's diary that reads, "Must remember to haunt Middlesbrough when I'm dead." But what I do have is a photo of these two guys side by side. So Jordan, now is the time where you may scroll down and have a little look at that photo.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they are kind of similar.
Yeah.
Definitely the nose.
Yeah, the nose, the mouth, the lips, the eyebrows are sort of angled the same way. One of them looks angry. That's the Nazi. He's a dickhead. And the other one looks happy. He's not a Nazi.
Not a dickhead.
Not a dickhead.
Yeah, that's a fair resemblance, really.
So this will be on the YouTube and Instagram and all that. I'll stick it all up.
Interesting. It would have been maybe even easier to see if both the pictures were black and white.
Possibly. I mean, I could black and white it.
You could?
Remember yesterday when I said I really can't be bothered doing things?
Yeah.
I'm still not wholly there yet.
Right, okay, fair enough. But you're here.
Exactly, I'm here. I'm doing this bit, you know. And if you at home, you want to take a little screenshot of that photo and black and white it yourself, go ahead. Unless you're sick, in which case, get to bed, drink some fluids.
Okay.
But Jordan, you could call this coincidence. But at some point, you'll start running out of rational explanations. The weirder part of this is all that the proof came after Carl's death. It's not like he saw the plane in a museum. He never got to see it pulled from the ground. He didn't even know about the bodies. He never knew about Richter. His memories had already faded by the time he was in his teens, and his story was not vague, not dreamy, but accurate. But Jordan, after all that information, I just want to know, what the hell do you think?
That's a very difficult story to disprove.
Very strange, isn't it?
Right, so the only thing is, what proof is there that this child said those things? Other than it being an interesting passed down story.
You know, that is a good point. There's no way of definitely identifying that the words came from the child's mouth, but still, when the parents went to the newspaper, they were still seeing the information before the plane was pulled from the ground.
But what if they buried it there?
What they buried, like...
Yeah.
So it was just passed down generationally. You know, like the granddad's like, oh, I've got this World War II plane with 4 dead pilots in the front that I just took as a bit of memorabilia. It's yours now. They were like,
It's like, oh, it won't fit in the living room.
yeah, we'll just have to bury this. The dad's like, I have a cunning idea, darling.
In the realms of what's more likely.
See, this is the thing that people start doing, right? Just to make things fit in the realms of what they know. They're like, well, that's more logical than reincarnation. It's like you fucking clutching at straws there.
I must admit, I really enjoy all these reincarnation stories because they often come from children, don't they? Who, if they are indeed saying those things, they shouldn't know what those topics are about.
Yeah, all that information. They should have no way of being able to access that.
Yeah.
Even if it was readily available.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just stuff that should be well beyond a toddler.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody asked me to fucking make up a story, like they were like, we're going to trick some people, by the way, just make up a story about a past life, I'd be like, I was Bill and I died. I wouldn't be able to come up with the details, you know, of the pilot, the leg, what happened when you were shot down, the clipping of like chimneys and all that sort of stuff, the family.
Yeah.
To come from a 2-year-old. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not smarter than a 2-year-old.
Well,
Me is very smart.
yes, you as. I love it though. I think it's great. I'd love more of these kind of things as well.
Okie, I was a bit worried because I think I did one not so long ago.
Well, I personally enjoy them. Don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, if anybody else hates them, let me know and I'll stop. You're in enjoyment trumps Jordan's.
Yeah, it often does. No, thank you for that. That was great.
Not a problem.
Food for thought.
Absolutely. So, Jordan.
Well, Ian, are you ready to hear about some weird advice that is strangely effective?
Oh, mate, I cannot wait.
All right.
Hoping I can change my life here.
Possibly. So, Ian, do you ever feel like you have pretty bad posture?
All the time.
Okay, well, here's something that might help.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Go on.
Is this the life hack that says walk around like you've got laser nipples and
Yeah.
you're shooting people in the head?
Yeah. So if anyone's not familiar, pretend you are shooting lasers out of your nipples and trying to shoot people in the head.
Have you ever actually tried that?
Yeah, it does work. It kind of puts you up straight, doesn't it? Unless you're aiming at the toddler.
First time I did it, my wife shot me down. She went, nice tits. So, okay, I'll just hunch over again then.
It does pronounce them a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
At least you got somewhere to hang your coats.
And, there's always got to look on the bright side.
You do. Or how about, little piece of advice for you, if you can't fight the fear, just do the thing scared. Gets through a lot of anxiety that way.
That is a very good piece of advice, I believe, because, shit is scary. Just fucking jump in and get it done.
I mean, it's tasty. Goes down in one.
It does for you, yeah.
Not anymore.
Have you got any favourites? Like, I can't wait to get to that student. They've got a delicious log.
Thought you were meaning like rabbit poo. That's not bad.
Like Mildred at number 48, mate. She's got it's always nice and soggy hers.
Tasty. Oh, God, it gets worse. Oh. Or what about the bit of advice for you? Don't beat yourself up forever. Beat yourself up once and then move on.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do struggle with letting things go and forgiving themselves.
Apparently, by the way, that was advice from Mr. Homer Simpson himself.
Okay, well then maybe just disregard that.
Okay. Yeah, he's an idiot. I feel like I might have mentioned this before, but it definitely deserves a mention again, which was when writing an email, leave the recipient field until last and always add the attachments first.
Yes, always a good idea, because I've done that so many times where I've put the name in, written the message, said, please find attached my very important document, and then not attached it.
Especially, maybe there's an issue with a company that you've purchased something from, and it's just a pain in the arse for you to actually get in touch with them because it takes 5 days or something.
Yeah, for them to reply.
So you've sent this thing without the evidence, and then you're going to send another one back, but then they'll probably respond to the first one and not respond to the second one until days later.
What happens with me is I send a thing, and then they 5 days later they send it back saying, yeah, you didn't attach it. I'm like, oh shit, sorry, here you go. And then 5 days later they're like, yeah, that's the wrong thing.
Yeah, you've attached your home video. What's this?
We appreciate the video you sent, but that is not what we asked for.
But Christmas has come early.
Haven't you, Christmas? Oh, fuck it, oh yeah.
Oh, what about... This is more for the gentleman out here. Holding your breath for a prolonged time is extremely effective at getting rid of a boner in awkward situations.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Hang on a second.
It's getting bigger.
Oh, I've fallen on an air hose.
I guess you do have to be careful, though, because, if you accidentally go too far, hold your breath until you die, you might end up with a boner when rigor mortis sets in.
Yeah, forever.
So, you go about getting rid of it, but it's eternalised.
Or you're in an important meeting and you're holding your breath and they're like, oh, fucking hell. Bill's either got hiccups or an erection again. They've read the advice.
See? Oh, it could be both. It's when he hiccups, it just wobbles.
Just hear a swipe on the table.
Oh, God. Nice. What about if you're looking for something in a low-light environment, try and use your peripheral vision. So this was taken from an old World War II manual about aerial combat at night, and it has something to do about how eyes work, apparently. This is someone's words, not mine. It has helped them many times over the years for finding stuff in a darkened room or outside in a field at night, but doesn't help them in aerial combat.
Okay, well, yeah, don't use it in planes. It's takeaway.
I mean, that's what that Nazi Luftwaffe did.
Oh, was it? Ended up clipping that chimney.
Yeah, didn't end well for them.
Oh, Scheisse! He's trying to look out his peripheral vision. I'll get us home safe, lads, don't worry. Oh, Scheisse!
They're going down. Oh, lovely. See, I don't mind joking about that because they're an asshole.
Exactly, yeah, precisely, yeah.
Karma is probably what we need to be.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Bring it down.
How about fail quickly? Meaning, if your plan may not succeed, it's better to find out next week than next year.
That's true, yeah, just get shit done.
Absolutely. The guy goes on to say, it helped me quit a suffocating job and dig into my own business. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Except he hates it now because he keeps getting sick.
Yeah, I was going to say that echoes me.
Yeah.
The fact that I used to work in retail, and in a sense it was more because the store I was working on went into liquidation.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that, I probably would never have taken the full-on plunge to go full-time working for myself.
Yeah, and we're all very proud of you, Jordan. Stop rubbing it in.
Thank you. No, I mean,
I'm a millionaire because I get to do what I love.
oh, if only. I think I'd need a really good accountant.
Except the shit one I've got at the moment.
I end up paying more.
Yeah, charges me $999,000.
Yeah, I don't even earn that. What about you can get someone to warm to you by asking them for a small favour? So, to clarify, not asking to do something for them, but having them do something for you. I have no idea why it works, but it does.
Okay. So I was thinking about something like this earlier. Is it because, like, it gives them a sense of, like, I'm doing something for them, so they're going to like me for it, so then you kind of start pining after it?
I don't know. I have a feeling that it's about, if you ask a stranger, effectively a stranger, isn't it? I guess we're talking about,
Yep.
to do something for you. I dare say it's going to be something quite minimal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be a huge undertaking, but I think it will make that person think, oh, they must trust me or like me enough to warrant doing this thing for them.
Yeah.
So maybe it just kind of makes them open up to you a little bit.
Yeah, and then you're going to be thinking that maybe, like, oh, I want to do a good job because they've asked me, you know, of all people, to do this for them.
Exactly. Yeah. And don't they know I'm a knobhead?
Everyone knows, Jordan.
They do.
But the reason I was thinking about this earlier, actually this morning, weirdly enough, is because I was thinking, like, if somebody wants to do something, like, say somebody says, oh, I want to quit smoking, and then if a loved one says, oh, yeah, I think you can do it first time, you know, I don't think you need any help, I think you'll do it absolutely fine. Then, like, a week later, the person's like, oh, I'm really craving a cigarette or whatever, and then they think to themselves, it's because that loved one said that.
Right.
They think, oh, no, I can't go back to it because this person had all that trust in me, and if I do it, you know, they'll be like, oh, well, I thought you could do it. You know, you'll think like you're letting them down. So it's like a psychological trick.
Right, I see. It's like holding accountable.
Yeah, so, but then, like, if you say, oh, I'm going to quit smoking, and somebody goes, good luck, mate, you know, then you're thinking, well, you know, they've already thought I'm failed, so it's going to be no surprise or shock to them if I go back on it and continue.
It's true. That is such a good point. It's a little bit like when someone wants to lose weight. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it really helps if you're on social media to post regularly about it, including the bad.
Yeah, again, it holds you accountable for it.
Exactly. And psychologically, that's meant to be quite a powerful thing.
Yeah, I can absolutely understand that. My wife and I tried that. It didn't go well.
Have you actually?
We did it years ago. We posted like a photo, you know, oh, we're going to lose weight. This time next year, we're going to be skinny motherfuckers. And then like a year later, we were just like, hide that post.
See, that's because you didn't do it regularly.
It's true.
You know, it was like every year's not going to cut it, Ian. Here's the other annoying part. So my life has been a bit of a yo-yo of that constantly, of, you know, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And when I look back at pictures of when I had lost weight, still at that point, I was thinking, fuck me, I'm fat bastard. And then I look back at it and think, I'd love to be like that, but back then I thought I was huge.
You know what? This is like my philosophy. Like I've been saying this for years. Like, just you have to stop worrying about what you look like. So, like, not you specifically, but people in general. Like, you have to stop caring about what you look like so much because you only look like that to yourself. No one else, for all intents and purposes, really gives a fuck.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
What makes you confident and makes you yourself is what you should do. So, like, I don't know, like, get into the nitty gritty, but like if somebody styles their hair in a way that you think people are going to look at me and think this this looks stupid. But if it gives you the confidence, you think, no, I think it looks cool, then fucking do it. Because that's all that matters.
Exactly. Preach it.
It's not exactly about how you look to other people. It's about how you look to yourself, that exudes a confidence, and the confidence is what matters.
Exactly that. And I remember reading something about no one thinks about you as much as you do.
Yeah, there's that famous saying, I can't remember who said it, but it's like, if you thought about how much other people thought of you, you'd realise it was not at all.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm trying to think who originally quoted it. The quote was, you'll become way less concerned with what other people think of you when you realise how seldom they do.
That's the one. Thank you.
It's true.
I did it fucking years ago, and I haven't been happier.
You just misread that as happier. It's meant to say happy.
Oh, right, I haven't been happy at all. Yeah, please someone help me.
But yeah, you're totally right. And I guess just to put a nice little lid on top of that, it's like we're all worried about what other people think about us and the tiniest little embarrassing things we do.
Yep.
And just no one cares.
Exactly. Yeah, just live your life. Don't do illegal shit. Don't do stuff that's going to hurt you or others. Other than that, just have fun.
Oh, this is really wholesome.
Oh, yeah.
What about this one? Counterintuitive, perhaps, but it helped my anxiety immensely. Oh, wow. In general, no one cares about you.
Oh, no way.
This is so weird. In general, no one cares about you, what you're doing, or gives a second thought about you once you're out of their sight.
Yeah.
It really helped me stop being self-conscious all the time in public. There you go. That's proof.
Fantastic.
That's perfectly timed.
Whoever says that is clearly heads and tails above the general mixed match of horrible media influence.
Degenerates?
Yes.
Sorry. Oh,
They'll
yeah.
do.
Oh, love it. Another one. Rinse your cereal bowl straight away. That stuff sets like concrete.
Oh, fuck yes. First thing I do as soon as my children finish their cereal is I swoop down like an eagle, grab them bowls straight to the sink, filled up with water.
Yeah. I mean, especially Weetabix.
Oh, yeah. Weetabix porridge. I remember finding that out the hard way when I had to get out
Right.
jackhammered to get some porridge off the side of a goddamn bowl.
That pneumatic drill.
Yeah. Went outside. Excuse me, mate, can I borrow your fucking drill? So, no, of course you can't. I've got porridge, mate. Oh, shit. We got porridge over here.
They should totally do the roads with that.
They should. Yeah. No more problems.
Yeah, there you go. What about don't give excuses unless they ask for it? So, i.e., if you're late to work, just say that you're late.
Oh, yeah.
Not why you're late.
Yeah, that is so hard to do. Yesterday I got called into work and they asked me if I could do a later shift. But because I was feeling so shit, I just wanted to get it over and done with. So I called them up and I was like, I always feel bad, because if they've asked me to move, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
So I called up and I said to them, I'm sorry, I would like to just stick on my original shift. And, that should have been it. But then you feel the urge to go, because you feel like you have to add that explanation in.
Yeah, it's especially when there's just silence.
Yeah, it's like they're waiting for it.
So let's role play it, Ian. All right, so I'll be your boss.
Okay.
Bring, bring.
Oh, sorry.
Bring, bring.
Do you want me off my knees?
No, stay there.
Yes, boss.
Ian,
Yes.
I'm afraid we've got a bit of an issue at work and we'll just need you to have a different shift today. Can you do it?
No, I can't, no. Sorry, mate, that's the end of it.
All right, cheers.
I've been listening to Two Guys What's Up podcast and I know how to command myself in these situations.
Thanks, Ian.
That was easy.
Have a lovely day. In fact, don't bother coming in.
Oh.
I'll pay you anyway.
Oh, wow. Fucking hell. Thank you, Jordan, for giving me the advice that I needed to navigate my life.
Take care. Have a month off.
Bloody hell.
Paid. I'll see you next month. Enjoy your summer. Bye.
I will enjoy my summer because you've given me it off. Right, that's it. Get in now.
Love it, yeah. What about for all those who struggle with executive function or just freeze when you have lots of little small outstanding tasks that you need to complete? Mm-hmm. A good solution. Do chores while you wait. So, for example, you have something in the oven. Well, let's see how much laundry you can fold before the timer goes off. You got a microwave going? I bet you can empty your dishwasher in 90 seconds. Are you on a phone call? Pop those earbuds in and let's tidy while we talk. So the idea is that the novelty of trying to accomplish said small tasks during the waiting period feels a little bit like a deadline pressure, which is basically the thing that can motivate you, and it tricks your brain into a little mini productive panic, and it's startlingly effective.
You know what? I disagree with that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the first time ever, I think.
Okay.
The way I do it, because I hate housework as I'm sure anyone does. But the way I like to do it is I flip them. So like normally people might go, right, I've got the laundry to do, I've got the dishes to do, I've got the beds to change, the hoovering to do. And in between those, I'll listen to music, I'll watch TV, I'll have a snack. So I flip it. So today I go, right, I'm going to have a snack, I'm going to watch TV, I'm going to listen to some music.
And then have a nap.
And have a nap. But, in between, I'll do the dishes. Because I know that it's only going to take me 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's just uninspiring, isn't it?
It is. So I flip it. So like today, like if somebody asked me what I'm going to do today, my day would be filled with, I'm going to watch TV, listen to music, record review, do all these fun things. But then in between, I'll stick on some music, quickly do the dishes. And then that's done. So I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not thinking, I've got all this work to do.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm not waiting to get to the, in inverted commas, fun things, yeah.
That's an interesting one. A similar kind of vein, in a way, I've heard other people say things like, let's say you've got a few things on your chores list to do today, like you've got to go food shopping, for example. Then let's say you've wanted to go for a run. So rather than thinking, I've got to go food shopping, I hate that, I've got to drive the car, the traffic's bad, and I hate going food shopping, and then, I can't be arsed going for that run. Rather than saying it like that, they'd say to themselves, I get to go food shopping. I'm fortunate enough to have a car that I can drive to the shops.
Okay, right, yeah.
To then get the food that I need, that I'm privileged to be able to have. And then I'm able to go for that run. I'm healthy enough to be able to do that. And they kind of flip the way that they see it. And I think that's an interesting one.
That's the be thankful, you fucker mentality.
It is. It's a little bit stoic, but I think there's probably a little bit of truth in that too.
Yeah, it's not taking those little things for granted, isn't it?
Yeah, that's totally it. Couple more for you.
Okay.
Sucking at something is the first step to sort of being good at something.
Is that a Adventure Time quote?
I don't know. I thought it was from Bonnie Blue. One of the two. But it's just that it's basically okay to not be good at something at first.
Yeah, man, that's a fucking Jake the Dog quote.
Is it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Is that not Bonnie Blue?
Not Bonnie Blue, no, not as far as I'm aware.
Oh, right, okay. It also works there.
No matter whose mouth it comes from, it's the sentiment is there.
Penultimate one, I think probably quite useful. How to unclog your nose. So you close your mouth and pinch your nose so you can't breathe. So far, not great, but okay.
Not helpful, yep.
You might get that erection sooner than you think. So you've got your nose pinched and your mouth closed. You shake your head up and down until you need to breathe. You then remove your hand from your nose and you breathe through your nose, but not your mouth. And it's an effective way to clear your nose.
Oh, okay.
And I think that is because your body goes into that kind of, oh God, we need oxygen, we need to breathe, and it helps relieve your sinuses.
See, if my body can do that under duress, then I'm pretty sure it could choose to do that at any point.
Well, I'm imagining this is more from, when you're suffering from a cold or something.
If it can do it when I'm forcing it, like, you better fucking do it or I'll cut off all your oxygen. And it's like, fine, we'll clear it, God. I'm sure it could just do it. It knows it's uncomfortable. It's just being an asshole. It's like it's saying, well done for getting sick, dickhead, have some snot.
I think, to be honest, it's more like we've got bigger fish to fry here. We've got a virus that we need to get rid of.
Right.
If you can breathe through your mouth, fucking just do it, you lazy prick.
So what you're saying is doing this might cause your nostrils and your sinuses to unblock, but may cause your central nervous system to shut down.
Possibly.
Cool.
I'm not advocating that you should do it, it's just what I've heard.
A free nap, I'm happy.
And then finally, this is one I do a lot now. If you want to buy something, wait 24 hours. And if you still want to buy it afterwards, then buy it. And it has really cut impulsive buying down and made saving that little bit of extra money extremely easy.
Yeah, that's a fair point if you want to save money. But if you're like me and
money grows on that tree.
Money's just a tool, that is used by the rich to keep control.
Oh, yes.
If you want that fucking MP3 player, go buy it, mate. Just do what you want. Live your life.
Yep, it's true.
What are you going to do when you're dead? Nothing. No money over there, is there?
Maybe there is.
Or maybe there is.
Who knows? Maybe, depending on what afterlife you get or beyond, is all about how much money's in your bank account. You get there and you're like,
shit.
Should have saved.
God's like, oh, you should have saved, pal. How's your MP3 player doing? Oh, it's a ghost. But if my story is anything to go on today, then all that's going to happen is we're going to get reincarnated and chucked back onto this earth to live this hell again.
Lovely, and on that delightful note. There you have it, some of the strangest but also useful advice for you.
Nah, thank you very much for that, Jordan. All very helpful, very good to keep on board, to pull out when I need it.
Absolutely.
Words to live your life by.
It is.
Fantastic. It's another one down. Hopefully we're both feeling better by next week.
I hope so.
And if you at home, if you're feeling sick, grab your nostrils, close your mouth, shake your head
Up and down.
up and down.
Until you need to breathe.
Yeah, and then report back to us. Did your organs shut down?
Well, at the moment, your instructions are still having them just bob up and down with all their oxygen plugged. So I dare say it's not going to work out.
Just let us know what happens.
I mean, the plus side is that when you pass out, you'll start breathing again. So you're all right.
That's true. So we're all good.
We are.
So, Jordan, with that, does that about bring us round to the end of today's episode?
I think it does.
Nice one. Thank you for tuning into today's episode of Two Guys What's Up. Don't forget to follow the show wherever you listen to us so you don't miss another episode, and maybe even tell a friend. Tell your friend that if they're feeling like they are a reincarnated Nazi pilot, that now they're not and they have another chance.
And you shouldn't be their friend.
And, well, you know, don't be the friend of the previous life person, but maybe make up your karma by not being a dickhead in this life.
Deal. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, our Linktree link is in the bio of this episode, which you can click on and be jetted off to every link you'll ever need for all your Two Guys What's Up essentials. Want to get your own Two Guys What's Up t-shirt? Click the link.
Want to learn how to live a pious life? Click the link.
Want to learn how to get rid of that erection? Click the link.
And if you click that link, it will blast you off to Patreon, the home of all your Two Guys What's Up extra essentials, including pin badges, shoutouts, t-shirts. And if you really can't get enough of our fantastic tales and reincarnated voices, well, now you can get more of each, because there are 23 bonus episodes sitting up there right now, which come out on the last Friday of every single month, and all that is waiting up there for you to go and have a little gobble around and all that extra audio goodness. And it all starts at £3 per month. 23 episodes, £3.
Beautiful. So if you want to help support the show and get some cool stuff while you do so, head over to patreon.com/Two Guys What's Up to check out all the goodies over there. The link will be down below for your pleasure.
But if you can't do that, but you still like to help us out, then a 5-star rating and review in your podcast app of choice would be the best and freest way to help us out, and we would be eternally grateful. We would. But on that note, thanks for listening. Y'all have an amazing week, and we will see you next Monday. Bye. Oh, Scheiße. You know what I'm going to do first, though? Take off my hoodie, because I'm warm.
I noticed that there's some sort of picture in this as well.
There is, yeah, don't look at it.
I won't.
Or die!
Well, I'm heading that way.
Just take me now. I'm going to take my headphones off so I can get my hoodie off my head. Oh, what have I done here? F*** myself over.
Have you got all contangled? Probably can't hear me because I guess you've taken your headphones off. I assume that was the issue.
I can't hear you.
I figured.
You sausage.
I like sausages.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
Especially if they land in my hand. Sorry?
What?
Nothing.
I couldn't hear. I took my headphones off.
I would never have guessed.
I don't want to know what you said now, but I can't wait to hear it back.
Right, moving on.
Right, you ready?
I think so.
Clamp them down a bit. Nice.